Hello. 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 No, hello. 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 Can you get a shout out? Can you get a shout out? You want a shout out? So what do you want me to do? You want me to just say your name? Shout out the Studio RF. Thanks for watching. Dylan Ledesma, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Gen Z is almost 30 years old, if that's you. Damn. I am late 30s, not almost 30. I am late 30s. I'm almost 40. Nope. Not at all. Nope, never. What are games? What's that? Depends on the character. Marvel, DC, depends on the character. Did you watch Batman Caped Crusader animated series? When I was younger, I used to watch Batman and stuff. Batman or Superman? Okay, nobody wants to hear about that. Batman or Superman? Superman. Actually, Superman's. I'm sort of like Seinfeld when it comes to that. I'll just just back him up. Um, Definitely partial to Henry Cavill and Christopher Reeve, though. I mean, nothing wrong with Batman. We got Michael Keaton, Christian Bale. Ben Affleck was good too. And we got all these different Jokers that are really good too. We got Heath Ledger, and then second but certainly not least is Mark Hamill. We got Mark Hamill doing Joker too. Don't forget, Mark Hamill's done the Joker and so many animated versions of the Joker. It's not even funny. If you've watched an animated movie or something like that, and you thought, wow, that was a really good Joker, it's probably just Mark Hamill. Yes, the Luke Skywalker Mark Hamill. Crisis on Infinite Earth Part 3 movie is Kevin Conroy last performance. I mean, yeah, I know, it's really sad, but yeah, for sure. Wasn't Mark Hamill in on that one too? I forget. Yeah, for sure. He's really good. Kevin Conroy is definitely he's probably the best. Yeah, for sure. I mean, really good. Best animated, anyway. What was the first movie I watched? I don't know. I have no idea. These sound suspiciously like security questions. Like, it's almost like a bunch of people came in suspiciously asking about security questions. Also, why did we go from like 15 to like nothing? YouTube controlling the concurrency again. How am I supposed to know what? I'm almost 40. How am I supposed to know what was the first movie I watched? I have no idea. Literally have no idea. Same way I yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they did a lot with them already, so I was pretty happy with what they did. I think the talent was wasted on essentially, like, you had Ben Affleck, who portrayed an excellent Batman. You had Gal Gadot that portrayed an excellent Wonder Woman. You had an excellent Flash. You had like this yeah, Henry Cavill is an excellent Man of Steel. You had this all-star awesome cast, and then you just tank the movies. You just go let's throw the slimiest producers at this stuff, so that way it's all about them putting what they want in it instead of what's creatively good, what the writers intended and stuff. And we just got a huge sloppy mess. And Justice League could have been so much better. Batman vs. Superman could have been so much better. Look, there was parts of those movies that were decent. Man of Steel was a really good movie. It's just that most people don't remember it, and most people that said they didn't like it can't tell me really much about it. So the people that watched it did like it, but I'll admit that it was also a slow start. So like, um, I encourage you, if you didn't watch Man of Steel, go back and watch it and try not to like be bored by the first bit of the movie, because I actually liked the first bit of the movie. I thought it was a great origin for him again. And then that kicked everything off, and it was all supposed to start with that. But then they just went to crap. Batman vs Superman was terrible. Justice League was, man, that was awful. They really didn't do a very good job. Doomsday was okay, and the ending was, it was really just that eureka moment that everybody talks about, like their moms having the same name, and so like it was, I guess, okay, but like it could have been done so much better. Like, that's the point. Like, the scene itself was terrible. The idea was decent. It's just that nobody, I think, is creative enough to take a decent idea and actually put it to life these days a lot of times. So the scene was really bad. I kept thinking to myself so many times, like, I remember, yeah, like, being frustrated as the viewer, as you're supposed to be, in certain scenarios, where they're, having their battle and stuff like that, but honestly, truthfully, at the end there, like, that was a really, like, wasted moment, I thought. I think that, like, they could have just done it a little bit differently, where instead of having them, like, necessarily in this heated battle at the moment, maybe just, like, have, Batman realize this before he makes a decision, or something. Like, just have it less dramatic in Hollywood, and save that for the moment where essentially Superman died. Essentially, like, save that oh crap moment for when Superman dies, instead of like the moment about Martha, which was terrible anyway. Oh, you have a mom with the same name. Oh my gosh, what have I been doing? No, it's ridiculous. Have him realize this as he's like driving his jet or something, and then like he hears some flashback of back thinking of his mom talking to him, and then like maybe some humanizing moment where he like reflects and stuff for a little bit. Don't just immediately, like, he's literally about to kill Superman, and then he just drops the freaking kryptonite thing that he has in his hand just because, oh, they have the same mom, their moms are the same name. No, so absurd. And then again, this foreshadowed the completely dramatic event of Superman dying and sacrificing himself to try to kill, not try, but to successfully kill Doomsday. He was a total badass in that moment, and just nobody cared. Nobody cared, and this is what, in my opinion, de-escalated Henry Cavill as Superman, and then you led him into Batman vs. Steel, and had this really boring origin story for Batfleck. It was just really boring. And Batfleck is excellent. That Flash movie, he was so freaking good. And like, I thought he was good in Batman vs. Superman. I just thought the movie was bad. So yeah, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what you gotta do, but Man of Steel was decent. So give Christopher Nolan a permanent position as... No. Listen, I really think this was a big mistake. I like the guy, but what's the director's name? Guardians of the Galaxy. He's like the lead of the DC now. What's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. What the heck's his name? You know what I'm talking about. I don't think that was necessarily the smartest move, just because we all know that he takes risks, and we're, guys, we don't even have to question. Like, essentially, no one's gonna watch this new Superman movie. It seems really lame. I just don't really even care about it. I'll be honest, I'm not convinced with this guy. I'm really not. I wanted Cavill. I don't. I think that when he rises to the challenge, essentially nobody asked him to do what Christopher Reeve did too. If you remember, Christopher Reeve intentionally didn't get a muscle suit. He just got big for the role. Cavill wasn't asked to do that. He just did it. And in fact, he got so big they had to refit the suit when it was time to shoot. So you gotta respect what he did, and then he successfully revived the character anew, and also single-handedly made the internet fall in love with him. Like, I mean, let's be honest, you know. So the he just they didn't give him what he deserves, and that is my humble opinion. In my opinion, that guy is proving left and right that he is one of the greatest actors, period. And he's willing to go through the motions that all those guys before him went through, and Russell Crowe, you know, and people like him, like, essentially, that are really good actors, you know, hold to a high regard and stuff like that. I look at Cavill the same, all in the same, you know. Essentially, this guy is A-list, tippy top, deserves anything that an A-list would deserve, if not more, because he's proving that he'll go above and beyond. He'll show up to the fitting looking, you know, the part more than you thought, you know. And he blows me away a lot of times with his ability to get in a role differently than his previous. Like, he's not just a typecast at all, which is actually pretty tough to do. It is. Like, all right, for example, Robert Downey Jr. is a great actor, but let's be honest, he's a typecast. Now, I've seen him do other roles where he's very good. He is very good, and I'm not discrediting him in those roles, because, oh man, he is good, and he can do almost anything he wants, trust me. But he does get typecast. Let's be honest, he does. Because he's so good at that role. So, that's all I gotta say about that. I thought Daniel Radcliffe was gonna be Harry Cavill's Wolverine. My thoughts on Cavill's Wolverine. I mean, cool, I guess. I don't know. I'm not gonna give until I see the movie. I'm not gonna give too many, you know, opinions on that stuff. I personally think that Daniel Radcliffe, if he actually is as Wolverine in the movie, like let's say he's being passed the torch as Wolverine, I would personally love that. I would personally support that, and I think Daniel Radcliffe is a phenomenal actor that gets overlooked big time. So I'm not going to say whether I think it's actually happening or not. I think it's a possibility, and I hope it is. But my thoughts on it, yeah, for sure. I think that Daniel Radcliffe fits the bill better than the Wolverines we've had before. Not that Hugh Jackman isn't a good Wolverine; he's phenomenal. But Daniel Radcliffe is he looks more the part, because if you know anything about the comics, Wolverine was short. Yeah, I mean, like, this happens, though. I mean, we can still have really good actors that fill the roles just fine. Jack Reacher, Tom Cruise did that excellent, and they wouldn't have been able to do the show that they were able to do if he hadn't have been successful with the movies. I mean, it's literally that simple. And I think even Alan Ritchson himself said that. So you got to respect somebody that can take a role and prove that they're good enough at acting, that even though they're, what is he, like 5'7" or something like that? So what? Who cares? He proved that he could do a role for this guy that's supposed to be like 6'5", right? Something like that. This is insane. And a dude held his own and got a sequel. That's impressive, man. So, yeah. Cheers, Tom. Good stuff. I'd love to see him as an alternate Robert. Yeah. See, I think of Tony as Robert Downey as an alternate Tony Stark. I'd love to see him as an alternate Tony Stark. Love it. Apparently it was supposed to happen, but his schedules conflicted because he was filming Mission Impossible. Yeah, apparently it was actually... I don't know if you heard that, but they were cutting the stream out. Apparently Tom was supposed to show up in Multiverse of Madness with everybody else, but I guess he was filming like the Mission Impossible movies or something like that at the time, so since the schedule conflicted, he wasn't able to really do it. This has happened a couple of other times too with other things. Why? Your name is nothing? So I have a question. There's typically several people in my swipe feed that are literally just laying there on a bed, groping themselves and stuff like that, and they got like 2,000 to 4,000 concurrent viewers. So if I'm just laying here doing nothing but talking and actually giving content and stuff like that, and YouTube has policies against weird stuff like that, why are they getting 2,000 to 4,000 concurrent viewers and I've got 4 right now? Legitimate question. I think it's time for Daniel Radcliffe to move forward from the Harry Potter. Every time I see him starring in a movie, I think Harry Potter. I think, here's the part of the problem. He has moved on from it for quite some time. Go watch a movie. I mean, seriously, there's a bunch of movies with him in it where he was the lead and he wasn't Harry Potter. A bunch. And it's exactly that thought that has kept him from coming back to do Cursed Child. This is exactly why it's frustrating actually, because I consider him an invaluable member. Like he is irreplaceable. He is Harry Potter, and I wouldn't want anybody ever to play the role except for him. But it hurts my heart to hear somebody say that they're tired of seeing him play it, because I thought he was so brilliant that it would be a fool's errand not to do it again. I think it's just his own pride, where he wants to be known, just like you said, you're tired of seeing him. I think he needs to swallow it and say, so what? I nailed this role. Yeah, I mean, like think about it. If he hadn't nailed it, he would never hear the end of it. Like this movie, pick apart his acting here. You can't though. He freaking nailed it. The point is you can't do that. The point is he owned that shit. And the franchise didn't carry him. He carried the franchise. The cast carried the franchise. Seriously. Those movies were decent for sure, but man, that cast was solid. I love Daniel Radcliffe in other things, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him portray Wolverine. I think that would be great and brilliant. But why not see him as Harry Potter too? I mean, I can see Henry Cavill play other people and still see him as the Man of Steel. You know, so what? I think that's a viewer and a fan inability to see. That's this just it. In my opinion, there's not enough people anymore that are fans of actors. Instead, they're fans of characters, and they should be more fans of the actors because that's a real substance. That's a real person. There's there's good behind that. Now, you can be a fan of the character they portray, but I think it's just there's more substance to it to say, and recognize why you love that character because that person successfully brought it to life for you. And I think to recognize that Daniel Radcliffe did that so well, so seemingly, he just was Harry Potter. He was so good at it, and to be honest, he practiced really hard. It wasn't easy. People probably thought maybe he was a natural or something. I really don't think he was. I think he was extremely nervous. He was really young when he did it. Truthfully, a lot, and they all were. They all leaned on each other and stuff and got good together. They're all very good. By the way, Rupert Grant, all of them, Alan, the brilliant Alan Rickman. I mean, come on. And so unfortunately he passed away, but Snape's character wouldn't be in it anyway, so yeah, I mean, they're all every one of them, really. I liked Neville too. Neville was a favorite of mine. I like Harry and I like Neville. Yeah, that was a decent portrayal for sure. Like I said, I really liked what they did with Cavill's origin and bringing him back to life. I really liked that. I thought it was a really, really cool origin. Bringing that back. I also enjoyed, essentially getting to see Russell Crowe, Kevin Costner. They both joined that cast to, John Kent and Jor-El, and they were brilliant, I thought, and I really enjoyed the origin story. It wasn't perfect, but it doesn't need to be. It just needs to sort of at least explain what happened, because that's the point. We didn't really get that before. We didn't really have that before. We had vague explanations here and there. We never really, obviously we've had cartoons and stuff, and we've had comics, but we never really had the live action good explanation, and I thought it was decent. Obviously, like I said, it's not perfect, but I thought it was pretty good. And then, if you guys remember, if you ever saw Flash, the plan was originally to revive that, I think, because they were supposed to have Cavill in that movie, and I think they removed him when they changed James Gunn. That's it. When they changed who the leader of the DC is, and James Gunn just started changing everything. They wanted to go with a rebooted Superman. They wanted to replace Cavill, and flat out, they were gonna. It wasn't. I don't think it was supposed to be just Supergirl. I think it was supposed to be him and her. And I think there's gonna be an end credits scene that it was gonna have him meet Black Adam or something with Black Adam, because if you remember, The Rock like posted a video with Cavill, or even Cavill posted it, I don't know, where they literally were both there confirming that they were both going to work together on something, and that it was going to be coming out, and it was going to be an end credit scene and everything, and then they had to pull it when James Gunn took over. And it's pretty crazy how quickly he changed everything and just really screwed it all up again. So I don't know, you're going to get a really wacky, really crazy James Gunn DC, and I think it's going to be funny maybe, but it's going to be a joke. Yeah, I think it's going to be a joke. I think that James Gunn underestimates his source material, and I think that with the Guardians of the Galaxy, he can make that a joke and take that with that, because there's such good source material. The writing speaks for itself, the characters speak for themselves, the cast was excellent, and Dave Bautista does not get enough credit. That guy is phenomenal. All of them were great. Chris Pratt doesn't get enough credit. That he was phenomenal. They're all so good. And when you underestimate your source material like that, and then you take all your experience from working on 3 movies in this entire franchise into your next job, and you just clearly don't know what you're doing, you get rid of entire ideas that fans were calling for. Fans were calling for these things. And then Gunn comes, like, they're like finally reviving them, spending the money to, people are making deals, talking about it, and it's finally happening. The Rock was behind it, you know, he could throw some money at stuff. Cavill's behind it, he was ready to too. Then all of a sudden Gunn's like, nope, see ya. And that, in my opinion, any fan of DC out there that was truly a fan isn't anymore. Like, flat out, you broke all our hearts when you recasted and you took away Cavill. And everybody's saying it, like, pretty much every day on social media. Pretty much. I see it all over the place. Like, and pretty much every post he makes about, like, the new movie or stuff is made a joke. Like, the comments and stuff. Like, it literally is so obvious, too. It really is. Like, and some of the pictures I've seen, it really is sort of kind of a joke. It doesn't look very good. What a shame. And, you know, been a fan, you know, for... Yeah, see, they're messing with the bitrate conveniently right as I'm trashing something that deserves it. So it's like, this is the point, like, they mess with the rate right conveniently when I would have something valuable to say. How about Michael Does Life get out of my stream and start going back to his own streams and running his own streams? How about that? How about you just get out of my stream and stop screwing around with stuff? Go do something else, dude. Stop messing around with my streams, man. Like, you gotta come up with something better to do with your time. Like, you're sitting in here, you're just trying to cause a problem because literally, like, you are so paranoid because when you won some lottery, you probably made some fucking deal with some person you shouldn't have made some fucking deal with, and now all these scammers and hackers are after you and probably fucking controlling your shit and threatening you and stuff like that. I don't know, man, but you got problems. And like, I tried to help, but like, screwing with my shit ain't helping you. It's making things worse for you. My real recommendation to you is just to stop. I've already told you this already, man. Like, I'm really trying to be level-headed with you here. It's not a good idea. Mickey Mouse ruins Star Wars. No. You're wrong. You're wrong. Whoever made the decision to hire Rian Johnson ruined Star Wars. J.J. Abrams had a plan. Yes, the first movie wasn't like, I know some people didn't accept it well, but I actually didn't mind it. It was a decent starting point, and a lot of people agreed. You know, the Force Awakens. And so when Rian Johnson took over, he decided to change the entire plan. This is what actually happened. When Rian Johnson took over Star Wars, he decided to change the entire plan. So, you know, like the moment where she hands off Luke's lightsaber to Luke, and we're waiting to see what happens. Okay. J.J. Abrams really didn't have a plan to have, you know, like it wasn't going to be like that for, like, ever. Like, yeah, there was a little bit of a funny moment where, like, that happens and stuff like that, and that's actually kind of classic Star Wars, and it was going to kind of pick up from there and be classic Star Wars from there. Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy did, yeah, agreed, yes, agreed. So the point is, Rian Johnson changed the plan. This is nuts, dude. Like, the fact that people don't know, too, like, it's literally that. And then when J.J. Abrams came back, he decided, I'm not going to change what Rian Johnson did and retcon his and stuff. And I'm just like, oh my god, you should. This is the one time you should. But he didn't. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And so, like, the point was that Luke, I think J.J. Abrams probably would have been true to Luke's character. Even Mark Hamill approached Rian and basically said to him, you know, it was something kind of like, I can't believe you see this character this way, or I don't, you know, like, it's something kind of like that. I forget it, that's paraphrasing. It wasn't exactly those words, but it was something kind of like that. Like, it was obvious he couldn't believe, essentially, that he got the character wrong. That Rian Johnson essentially missed the point of Luke Skywalker. That essentially this was the guy that had the most to prove. That, like, when everybody was gone and hiding away, you know, like, he was the one where his story wasn't quite done. We're like, we were waiting, essentially, to see what he was going to do to balance the Force. Essentially, he kind of did. You know, okay, so Darth Vader is gone. You know, they took that big win, but if you remember, you know, essentially they all fled at the end, okay? So, but the point is, now he sees this Jedi that can so easily accept the dark side of the Force and walk toward it while accepting the light side of the Force as well, and thus she is able to, you know, essentially balance the Force and use it correctly instead of being betrayed by it. So therefore, she understands. And so the point is, Luke should, if anything, his character would be more gung-ho about this and would immediately recognize that essentially she needs help. And he would literally, he wouldn't have something more to learn from Yoda. Yoda wouldn't need to come talk to him again. Like, that was so absurd. If you're gonna kill off Luke Skywalker, and I was okay with that, he is now the one coming to her as the ghost, giving her advice and stuff like that. Would have been way cooler. And yes, I agree, the cool thing where he force projects himself across the freaking galaxy, that was amazing, okay? Yes, absolutely. Luke Skywalker in that moment was obviously the coolest Jedi pretty much ever. However, at the same time, you still could have had him show up and prove that he's the coolest Jedi ever. Like essentially beat the guy to a pulp. The guy runs away from Luke. But Luke essentially is old, so he's exerted all his force power to beat the guy. And after he gets away, Luke collapses all dramatically in the sand. Leia comes out to see him, and he like falls over in her arms and dies in her arms as she's talking to him and stuff like that. And so, like, essentially, you could have had a way more dramatic and cooler moment there, and then Leia's resolve is that much greater. They wanted to keep her alive for another movie. So essentially, she looks at him, and then looks back up at the sky and squints like she's angry, and then immediately storms the ship and goes after him. And it would explain everything. You could immediately give her the reason why suddenly her force powers awaken. Why suddenly she's in space and didn't die, and she can suddenly force project herself through space when never before she ever used this. And so, like, it could have been immediate, like, essentially the idea, the concept that you know, her brother literally is dead now awakens this in her out of need, and so therefore she's able to do that. You know, like the point was she wasn't a Jedi, but like, you know, like there really wasn't much explanation, and here in 5 minutes I gave you a better fucking story than Rian Johnson did. So God, it's really upsetting when these editors don't know what they're doing and don't know what people want to see. You know, Luke Skywalker, they done him dirty. Luke Skywalker was done wrong. Yeah, the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series was really awesome. Sorry, I didn't see that message. It was too low. I actually did watch the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I freaking loved it. And I love that Ewan McGregor obviously came back to play him. He's so good. He's so good. That, like, those movies, like, I don't know, I feel like the cast was better than, like man, that cast just was so freaking good. They deserve these TV shows where they get to, like, redeem themselves and keep being their characters. You know what I want? I want the original team to get back together that made do you guys remember The Force Unleashed and The Force Unleashed 2? I want them to make an Obi-Wan Kenobi game. Or I'd be even fine with the people who did Fallen Order. I mean, yeah, Fallen Order. But they just can't do it like... They can't do it like Survivor. As long as they don't do it like Survivor. Oh, Survivor was a big L. In my opinion. Why is it that when I mention Survivor, instantly there's two concurrents, and then after I say there's a big L, those two concurrents survive? Who's screwing around with concurrents? Who's screwing around with viewbots? Who do you know uses viewbots that can screw around with my stream? Who do you know that uses viewbot and can screw around with my stream? Who I just warned previously to stop. Who do you know that uses Viewbox that I just warned previously to stop that could be doing that? Who do you know? I'll wait. Yeah, that's what I thought. So that's what this guy's doing. He's hanging out in here. He's been doing it for a while. Hey, Viewbox people cause a problem for him. Yeah, views don't go up by 2s, buddy. Yeah, you've been doing it for freaking ever. Yeah, I'm not stupid. Coming in on your alts, saying a bunch of random shit. Liking the stream, unliking the stream. Disliking it 4 times even though people liked it. Intentionally disliking the stream on your little fucking Tyler account. Thinking I don't know who you are. Oh yeah, that threw you off, didn't it? Oh my god. I'm not stupid, dude. Oh, you didn't think I knew? I'm here on... It always comes in with 2 people. It's always 2 at a time. Or 4 at a time, or 5 at a time. Yep, he's got some issues, man. And he's probably been doing it to all of you, too. Just warning you guys. Oh, conveniently it goes down to only 1. Right after I said that. Yeah, it's been going up only by 2s for quite some time now. You didn't think I could catch on to that? You didn't think I could catch on to that? Like, come on now. This is essentially why he's causing a problem for like the control panel and stuff, like, so that way you guys can't see it going up by blocks and stuff, like blocks of views, because then it's sort of obvious what's going on. Yeah. That's why I was like doing all kinds of different various stuff the moment I would do that. Throw it off. Yep. Pretty nice. Do 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 do. You like it? You like how I wear sunglasses while I'm streaming? Maybe I should wear ones. Maybe I should wear ones that are entirely too big for my face. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should wear ones that are entirely too big for my face. I should do that. Here's what's crazy. When some of these adults feel insulted, instead of acting like an adult and like just like moving on with themselves and not caring what somebody thinks, they in fact care so much they literally like retaliate and hate and like would like wish things upon you and stuff. Isn't that disgusting? Isn't that terrible? Greetings from Bulgaria. How's life? Brian Alexander. Seems legit. Bulgaria. How's life? How's life for you in Bulgaria? How's life for you in Bulgaria? How much is gas over there? How much is milk? Do you guys use the metric system? Or do you use like feet and inches? Stuff like that. How's gas is expensive, but if you bike, it's all good. Okay. Sounds like Romania. Yeah. Yeah, I think most people are in the metric, right? Sounds like Romania, kind of. There's like what? Yeah, like just that a little bit. Oh man. Do you guys have temper? Is it temperate there? It's like comparing Tennessee to West Virginia. So, so if you live in Bulgaria, how do you know so much about the U.S.? This is true. These are some pretty random states, though. Well, West Virginia is one of those states that I'm surprised you even know exists. Some people here forget that one exists. Ask American to name the 50 states, they won't name West Virginia. That'll be one of the last ones they think of. Unless they're from like Ohio. Or West Virginia or Maryland. It is. That's what people don't get. People don't get how important it is to the rest of the world. You're right. Americans don't understand that, that's for sure. I'm right there with you. The unfortunate thing is there's a decent number of Americans that think that Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, there's a decent number of Americans that don't really understand that and understand that we rely on each other. Like, there's a reason why you want America to be number one, and then at the same time, there's also a reason why we want to be trading with the rest of the world, and we want to be helping out, and for sure. So I gotta say something. I'm really irritated that all these people are like, um, sort of, I guess, picking on Kamala Harris for, like, I don't know, like, what is this weird thing where people are suddenly trying to accuse her of, like, not being black or something? That seems so weird. And it's really random. Like, what is the deal with that? Like, what is your problem that, like, you don't recognize somebody's, first of all, the appearance of somebody. Secondly, you don't you know what I mean? Like, come on, she's right there in it with you. uh and secondly, you don't recognize that somebody's father was literally Jamaican. So I mean, I don't understand how nuts people are sometimes, that they have to have some sort of problem with her saying she's black. It really makes no sense, because I mean, she is. So yeah, on non-issues, yeah. Well, this is 98% of Americans. Yeah, most of them are one policy voters, and that one policy they're voting for, they really don't get it right. It's actually a lot of times the other person that is influencing that policy that they think they're voting for. Um, sort of like when people that wield, like, their ARs, drive their giant trucks and have their Kevlar and stuff like that, and point the finger at liberals, yet they're the ones touting their civil liberties, like the fact that they actually have liberties like that, yet they're calling people liberals that wear, like, face masks and stuff. Like, people are just, like, literally ignorant. They have no idea what they're saying. Yeah. Well, no, people have no real concerns apart from nonsense stuff. That's not true at all. See, that's the misconception. I think that's the real misconception the rest of the world has. When I go out onto the road, I have to worry about somebody in a car behind me that is so impatient that I'm driving the speed limit that he is going to swerve back and forth, speed up and slow down to try to physically pressure me with his vehicle to drive faster. And if I don't, you have to be worried, does that person have a gun? Or are they going to, like, drive around you and pull their gun out and stuff? So, like, essentially, this is what, not even just that, though, like, essentially, just generally speaking, the rest of the world doesn't realize that the average person in the United States, the average middle income person, to survive, it depends on where you live, what state you're in, but to survive has to work 2 to 3 jobs, and you're just working nonstop. And trust me, that's not a no-nonsense, no issues. That makes no sense to even say that. Our healthcare is actually disgustingly high too. Our healthcare is terrible. To have a child, you wouldn't believe it if I told you. If you got cancer and you don't have like top coverage or something like that, you forget it. Yeah, it's similar, except we just have different stuff to worry about. It's more vestigial. It's more like if other people would see us from afar, it would look like we don't have to worry about stuff. For real. So for example, if I wanted to get a tooth fixed, just one tooth without insurance, like pull out the broken tooth, put a new one in, no insurance, $2,000 to $3,000 a tooth. No insurance though. You're talking about no insurance. And like the reason I say that is because give or take how much either anesthesia, Novocaine, or whatever it is they're using to, and if you don't have insurance, it won't be anesthesia, so Novocaine, whatever, give or take, based on what happens in the procedure. So like essentially, yeah. Essentially, it's different than people think. So, when you get here and you try to live here, what you really have to worry about is cost of living is insane. And then if you try to get a place of your own, you essentially have to prove, well, I mean, yeah, citizenship, all that too, but aside from that, in your case, aside from that, it comes down to a lot of times, like, you gotta show all kinds of pay stubs, you gotta show, like, you gotta put like this down payment down, you gotta put like 2-3 months rent down payment down right away, you gotta show some ridiculous credit history, you gotta show that looks good, you gotta have sometimes 2 people living in there because they want to, if your income doesn't look high enough and it looks like you can't afford it, oh man, they want to make sure that you make rent, so you got to get another person to live with you sometimes, and like it's really crazy. Sometimes you got to have certain insurance or you can't live there. They'll throw random policies at you, like for example, if you have a pet, you gotta have like pet insurance or something like that, which costs more or something like that. And like you wouldn't believe like just how much things cost to even just rent something and live on your own, let alone what people in other countries don't consider is we don't have free medical. We don't have free, you can't just go to the doctor for free. You have to have insurance. If you don't have insurance, it's like 300% more for you. So like you have insurance, like it's like $15 to $50 to go to the doctor, between $15 and $50. If you don't have insurance, it's anywhere from $150 to $500 to go to the doctor, depending on what you're going for. If you don't have insurance, and that's if you just go without insurance and stuff like that. It's not free. There really is nothing free, and every country on the like developed country on the planet has free healthcare. Our cost of living, food is so expensive. Like it didn't used to be, but then Donald Trump happened. Yeah, but Medicare isn't what you think. Medicare is like for retired people, basically. It's not what people think it is. That's specifically for something. People don't just have Medicare. Same with Medicaid. But like, the point is, there's a huge divide in economic divide in the free market of this country. Essentially, the billionaires and the billionaire companies, the trillion-dollar companies and stuff like that, they stay at the top and keep going up, while everybody else keeps gradually going down. And that's what keeps happening. So like I said, Trump's new tax plan that everybody thinks is Biden. No, the tax plan that's right now is actually Trump's tax plan. It's increasing their taxes. Basically, what happened was, they decreased taxes for the top, like the billionaires and the big companies and stuff like that. So essentially, and also what this did was it did cause people, they raised minimum wage and stuff. So all this did was all the stores and grocery stores and stuff raised all their prices of stuff to match the wages that they had to pay to people. So everything in like all the grocery stores and stuff for the past couple of years has been like dramatically going up in price. And it's literally because of that. It's literally just because all they did was, instead of having the CEOs wanting to take a pay cut, they need their bonus. They have to keep increasing. So, because they deserve it, they won't model themselves after the CEO of Nintendo, the guy who, remember the guy who didn't he take a pay cut or something to make sure all the employees got paid or something like that? Like nobody freaking does this anymore. Nobody does the right thing anymore. So the point is, these CEOs just take advantage of it. They jack all the prices up. Everybody else suffers. Simple as that. And all the stores do the same thing to match. It's the same thing that happens with gas prices, but people are too stupid to know what actually happens. Yeah. Yep. People need to rise up. Part of the problem, though, is for people to rise up for the right reason and then state what it is. If they don't, then corrupt politicians will take advantage of them. And that's what keeps happening. And I keep saying a million times, the Democrats are literally just telling you over and over and over again exactly what's happening. Republican literally is just doing this. And then they point the finger, they do something evil to take money from you, and then they point the finger at the Democrat and say, look what the Democrat's doing. And you all just believe it. Well, not you, but Americans. This is what happens. It's not like all Democrats are like angels from heaven or anything, but like the point is, you have to realize that a lot of these people, like, they have a job. Like, the point is, they're your representative. Like, they're supposed to do that job. They're trying to do it. And then these buttheads just point the finger at them for something they did, And maybe they even talked about it and said, you need to block this, you need to block this. And then it didn't get blocked. And now they're trying to point the finger at the Democrat that tried to block it, when really... Like this is what people don't understand. Like, it's the end, it's the age-old story. Like, they've literally been doing this for decades. That's why everybody hates Hillary Clinton. She didn't do anything wrong. It's literally everybody that did things to her to set her up for people to hate her. And it worked. People are literally so ignorant, they don't look anything up. I watched this guy talk to a bunch of people at a Trump rally, this most recent one where he was assassinated. And he asked them all a bunch of questions, like spouting facts that were like very accurate about Trump that were bad and stuff like that. And like literally none of them could answer accurately. Absolutely not a single Trump voter answered accurately. Every single one of them was wrong. They answered it literally just wrong, or they just didn't know. So, like, this is the point. People literally have no fucking clue what they're talking about. Yet they're shooting at the president for what they believe in. And they're hating people and burning shit down and rioting. And people are just terrible. Populism is poison. Everyone eats it up. Yeah, it's so easy to manipulate people. Yeah. Part of the issue that we worry about now is being entire populations of people like the U.S. and stuff like that. We have to worry about, you know, other governments and stuff around the world. You get what I'm saying. So, do we have organizations in the U.S. aware of this? Yes, like they are aware. Trust me, and it's not like the U.S.'s intelligence isn't good. Trust me, the U.S.'s intelligence is the tippy top. So they're aware of this. They are doing things about it, I think, and trying to help. But it's not as easy as that. You know, you can't just suddenly make everybody not stupid. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. And then there's the issue of people's own anxiety. Like, part of the issue is that other countries just simply use anxiety against people. You know, like the concept of just manipulating fears and stuff. So, like, this is exactly what Republicans have been doing to American voters since forever. That's exactly it. Again, like I said, the Democrat warns you about the exact thing the Republican's going to do to take money from your wallets. The Republican does it, then points the finger at the Democrat and says, look what they did. And the Democrat even warned you. So, literally, all they do is been using your fears of the Democrats against you the whole time to just trick you every day, basically. It's not some conspiracy. It's literally just happening. Why do you think a bunch of people stormed the Capitol, raging out, smearing shit on the walls, breaking stuff? Yeah, like, there was nothing about that even looked legal. Like, clearly all they're doing is looting and destroying a building. And no less a freaking government building. Like, so like, the point is, like, it's very obvious that none of that, like, there's no way anybody in their right mind that was there that day and that took part in that could literally reasonably say that they didn't think it was, you know what I mean? Like, that's the point. Like, it's obviously illegal. Like that's like saying that they thought that they couldn't do that to any building. They couldn't, like, what? No. That makes no sense. You see. So, like, that's the point. Like, Trump was using, essentially, people's anger over the election to feed them. You know, like, essentially, people were just angry that he wasn't going to be president anymore. And what happened? Nothing but good things. Like, Biden's actually been doing good things. And nobody's going to know it until the next term. That's the problem. People think it's all bad now and it's all about Biden, blah, 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 blah. It's like, people don't get that it takes time to see what the president actually does. The president, like, signs papers and stuff like that. Like, you can say that tomorrow or today, typically, unless it's, like, military action or something like that. Like, really, you're not. So, that's the point. Or unless they're paying you money. And again, remember when Trump, we had a stimulus payment a while back, a couple of years ago in COVID to help out, and Trump literally stopped the checks and held the checks back for I think a week or so, just so that he could sign his name on them, so that way you would psychologically remember that he gave you money. You'll remember that your wallet was better when he was president. That's all he wanted to do. He wanted to play that mind game with you. So again, you were supposed to get this check And this was as per the government, the Senate, the Congress. They signed this over. It had nothing to do with Trump. All he had, it was literally just whether he's going to veto it or sign it. Obviously he's going to sign it. But the point is, he decided to hold it back so that he could actually get his name signed on there, and so that everybody could see from the Trump administration on that check, so that you would psychologically think, oh, right, he gave us money, blah, 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 blah. It had nothing to freaking do with him. It's just a mind game. This is what they do. It's all propaganda. And I can't believe they actually held it back and prevent people from getting it sooner just to do that, too. It's unbelievable what they would actually do. Yeah, he's been... What, Trump? Name you an anime character for an edit? Asking people 21 out of 100. I'm gonna give you Shino from Naruto. I'm gonna give you Shino. How's that sound? Shino's awesome. You're welcome. Well, you know Kamala Harris is now in instead of Biden. And I think that was a very responsible pick. So, Trump, what a liar. Yeah. You and I know it. Part of the problem is the American people don't. They, like, a lot of times they just, they know he is, too. It's pretty crazy when, like, the guy can sit there getting caught in a lie after lie after lie after lie, and the same voters literally just obviously are lying for him, too. Like, it really is obvious that they are just lying for him, too. They know it. That's what's insane. It's total insanity. I can't believe they're actually... That's why you should consider that a matter of national security. Like, I really do think there needs to be a new system where people's ability to handle decisions and logic needs to be tested before they can vote. Because if people... we can't, like, that's my point. If people can't tell the difference between something that's real and a lie, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. Because, like, they could vote for a cult leader, and that's the point. Like, they are. Kamala has a good chance. Yes. Yeah, I think that I think she does, and I think not only that, she has a really strong chance. I heard that Trump doesn't even want to... I heard that, like, they're trying to postpone the debate so that Trump has more time to debate her or something like that. Wasn't she trying to push for a debate, like, right away? I guess they wanted to really push it off. Something kind of like that. Kamala put him in his place already. Did she tell him to shut up the one time? I don't remember what she told him to do. Oh, no. She didn't tell him to shut up. She said, I'm talking, or something like that, right? Yeah, she very... Yeah, I think she very condescendingly put him in his place. It was so funny. Because, he cannot handle not being the center of attention. That's what, that's why I want to react to some things, but YouTube... We got these scamming content creators on here. Anytime I react to something, they come in the stream with their view bots to cause a problem for my stream. And the one dude likes to put my stream on multiple devices and all kinds of stuff to cause a problem. And the other guy likes to come in and out on his alts. Like I'm just getting trolled so hardcore by these people. They consider them content, themselves content creators. And it's just, like, disgusting behavior. They've been doing it for years. So I can't even react to... like, the point is I want to react to this one thing. So, like, I'll just have to talk about... Yeah. They're gonna get served. Because they can't control somebody's content. They can't harass somebody to the point where they wouldn't put certain content up. That's what they're going to get sued for. Yeah, essentially, trying to censor content. Yeah. Yep. And then again, when it's proven that it comes back from them, they're like essentially it's gonna look really bad because their entire channel is just like, wow, yeah. He's getting senile, bro. People are saying Biden's old, but Trump isn't too far off. Yeah. Here's the thing. I think people were underestimating how difficult it is to run for president. It takes a lot of energy. And Biden was seemingly being president and running for president at the same time. And I don't think people understand just what the kind of commitment that takes and how hard that is physically on a person. And he's in his 80s. So the fact that he's even able to do it is impressive. And I noticed after he pulled out, I have to be honest, I noticed almost more of a calm, almost like he's kind of not as stressed. And that's good to see. I was actually kind of concerned because essentially people just really don't care about him, and that's just sad to see. Like even as much as I can't stand Trump, I cared when he got shot at and stuff. I care about their health and stuff. Like obviously I care about them as people, so we have to be humanizing and things like that, and I really do care about them, especially Biden, because obviously he's helped so much. And tried his hardest, especially after being vice president with Obama for 2 terms too. So, people really underestimate the type of energy it takes to do that, and the fact that he is as old as he is and he's still doing this stuff successfully in this type of a world. It's impressive. Yeah, he's doing it. So I just think that it's too easy these days for people to just latch on to the he's old or something like that, and that's it. People just want a very quick, easy, dismissive way to say that's not who I'm voting for, because they've already decided they've already made their minds up. So that's part of the issue. I think we have very few people that actually swing one way or another. So I think a lot of times the only times you get a change in the vote is when you actually get people new voting. Conservatives talk about free speech all the time, but like to censor speech all the time. Yeah. Well, in the U.S., it's actually reversed now. Republican voters aren't conservative. There's nothing conservative about them. You think that people that wear Kevlars, put Confederate fucking flags on their gigantic trucks, and swerve around on the road and show up to their gun rallies and shit like that and burn things down are conservative? You think this is conservative? This is what I say to people that think the Republican Party is still conservative. It's completely opposite from the way it used to be. Their roles are reversed. The Democrats are conservative now. And this is what people don't understand. The Conservative Party is the Democrat Party now. That's literally, it's totally opposite. And they're being fooled by the Republicans. The Republicans are the ones that are corporate greed. They've been helping corporate greed. It's literally Donald Trump. It's literally Mitch McConnell. It's literally all the Republicans. You're so blind. People know it too. They're just denying fact. And so there's nothing conservative at all about Republicans, anymore. And, case in point, it's just as I say, there's nothing conservative about the way they act and behave and stuff like that. They're always loud and obnoxious, and flat out, case in point, Donald Trump stages a thing at the Republican National Convention. Instead of having a speaker speak on his behalf, he has Hulk Hogan come out and rip his shirt off. I got news for you. That's not conservative. That's not what the word means. It's not even fucking close to it. So like people just they really don't get it anymore, and that's a big thing. That's a really big part of it. Yeah, no, it's not conservative minded at all. They're stupid to think that. It's minded toward the corporate greed, toward the guy that runs the company, toward the Trump. You want to prove to me that you don't care about corporatism and stuff like that? Start bringing unions back. That's what I want to see. And I want to see a lawsuit. I personally want to see a lawsuit from the federal government against Walmart specifically for having training videos to threaten employees that would dare speak about unionization. I shit you not, I was threatened as an employee by a physical training video that I had to watch and was forced to watch that told me that if I ever spoke about unionization on the clock, I would immediately be terminated. And I was forced to watch hours of videos about how terrible unions are and about brainwashing me into thinking talking about unions are bad. They went, no lie, like hours of video Walmart made me watch to brainwash me into thinking unions were bad. Yeah, I want a federal lawsuit against Walmart. That's what I want. Because Walmart is evil. And yet I am forced to shop there because flat out they are the cheapest and they have the most. And they flat out know it. They flat out know that they have intentionally gained the market, they've coined that market on purpose. They are really unsafe, they're terrible to their employees. Yeah, you want to think that Walmart employees get paid a lot better now. Yeah, except the problem is, I already pointed it out, that everything in the store is 300% more than it used to be. Basically, it's all about that, probably. Yeah, I mean, like, go back to the beginning, you know? I'm not talking like 300% like from like a few years ago. I'm just saying like the beginning, you know? So like yeah, it's probably, you know, like, I mean, prices are up dramatically lately. And Walmart flat out brainwashes people. Walmart, all kinds of companies do this crap. Yeah, they are. I agree. They had us watching a video on stuff like that. Yet at the same time, every single day that I had to unload a truck, I was required to physically lift a ramp with my bare hands that had extremely sharp metal edges and was about 80 pounds, and the chain didn't work, so I had to physically get on the truck and unsafely lift it from a very awkward position. And I was also forced to walk under overhead steel every single day and step on pallets that were empty pallets that were on the floor to unload a truck. Every single day. This was regular practice. And I submit to you that that is an OSHA violation, and it's happening every single day at Walmart. And I did this for years. This was this was literally my process. Freaking evil, man. That's a detractor. Somebody that comes in and says that immediately, that's a detractor. How did it get so bad? People being fooled, not knowing how to vote. That's how it got so bad. Yeah, I mean, like, people actually think the Clintons are what's wrong, when the Clintons are literally what was good. Like, people are literally this stupid. Bill Clinton balanced the budget. He's the reason the 90s happened. Thank God for Bill Clinton. Hillary Clinton was also the Secretary of State during those years and kept us safe. Thank God for that. Yeah, like, people are so stupid. And so, this is how it's gotten that bad. The fact that I would actually have somebody look me in the eyes, somebody I personally know, and tell me the Clintons are the reason why our government is so just terrible. Somebody actually told me that before. Organically, too. I didn't ask them anything about it. Like, they just looked at me and organically told me this as if they already had some sort of hate brewing for the Clintons. Meanwhile, this person claims to be, like, you know, some great enlightened person in the mind and stuff like that. And this is the type of thing he thinks. Like, he has so much hate built up for these two people, and he's got it wrong. He's literally just wrong. And he doesn't even know it. And meanwhile, I can literally sit here and tell you flat out that it's as simple as knowing that Bill Clinton balanced the budget. That's it. Come on. The reason the country was so great during the Bush days, during the 2 terms that Bush was president, was because of the Clintons. Then, when Bush destroyed Iraq, decided, oh, WMDs, even though that was a lie, this destroyed our country and really messed with our debt and added $2.5 trillion to the deficit when we had a surplus of $3.5 trillion. Okay? And Clinton balanced that. Bush got rid of it and destroyed it. Then we very, very, very slowly but surely almost came out of it under Obama. Almost. And then fucking Trump. So what people don't understand is they think that the president, oh yes, while president, right now, how I feel right now and what is happening right now is what the president's doing. This is what people get wrong. They are so ignorant to these things. Are you so stupid that you don't know how our system works? These are pieces of paper. They take time. Our system is designed this way on purpose. I really can't understand how people missed, like, I know that y'all fell asleep in history class, but, like, these are some basic points. Like, these are basics. Yeah, Dick Cheney and his pals were all responsible for the needless wars. Exactly. When Obama was in office, we finally took care of what happened on September 11th. Thanks, Obama. Yep. When Obama was in office, we finally took care of bin Laden. And nobody acted like that was a big deal. Nobody. Everybody was like, people actually almost acted like why did they do that? You know, like I'm like, finally, somebody didn't forget. Finally, we will never forget. Finally, Obama proved to us we will never forget, and he takes care of the problem. And everybody acts like, why'd you do that? No, I'm serious. Like, this is what Americans acted like. It's so weird. It's so freaking weird, man. Like, Bush did nothing. September 11th, let's bomb Iraq. Yep, September 11th, let's bomb Iraq. let's go to war with Afghanistan. No, I get it. But the point is that a lot of that was needless, like you said, and came down to things that Obama actually started doing and stuff like that people misunderstand. And it's like now people use political propaganda to misconstrue a drone strike and stuff like that. And it's like now I'm starting to understand why Bush probably didn't do certain things or you know, like stuff like that. Now obviously drones were like something that came a little bit later. We still had them, but they weren't great. And so, like, that's the point, is, like, the technology didn't exist at the time, so people don't really understand that was the first time we had that tech, and that was the smart way to handle certain situations, versus sending a team in that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, and you have a Bin Laden situation all over again, and people bitch, moan. So, like, no matter what Obama did to fix things and help things, people were like, oh, he's black, so I don't like him. That's what people do. That's literally what they did. And it's literally that. Literally, people just do that. It's terrible, man. Like, you gotta love the guy for how energetic, funny, and straight to the point he is anytime he talks too. Like, I don't know, it's the sort of thing where, like, when you're somebody that learns to guard yourself, you sort of, you know, look at people a certain way and kind of learn to read them a bit. And with Obama, even just literally never at any point in time did I feel like he was guessing, he was speculating, he was pulling something out of his ass, he was trying to fudge the numbers, he was trying to say anything that wasn't any bit the truth. So with him, there's so much integrity there that we literally had the polar opposite when Trump was in office. So this is why everybody who thought that this guy, the businessman, was going to take care of things, why they thought it was so great when he was in office, because Obama did those things. You know, Obama went to law school. Obama had experience. Trump doesn't know what the hell he's doing. All Trump knows how to do is declare bankruptcy. You know, Trump went bankrupt like 6 times? This is the issue. People don't know things like this. They don't look the guy up. They're like, yeah, I researched him. No, you fucking didn't. You want a businessman. The reason why you vote for this guy is to tell me that it's businessman. I got news for you. Politicians are businessmen. Move on. This is a ridiculously stupid fucking reason to tell me you're gonna vote for a president. It's just dumb. Secondly, if you want to say, well, all right, aside from just saying simply that he's a businessman, let's say that he has, like, knowledge and stuff like that of this and that and the other thing. You're talking about the guy, again, that went bankrupt 6 fucking times. And was about to go bankrupt right in front of your eyes in the United States. Until he ran for president. Yeah, Obama was a saving grace. If Obama hadn't happened, we would have been screwed. And I truly believe the same thing about Biden. And Harris is going to have to be the next one that blocks his ass. So I really hope that, like, it's very obvious what he's trying to do. It's very obvious he's trying to use office to get rid of the charges and stuff. Like, everybody knows that, like, it's so obvious what he's trying to do. I can't believe that he was actually allowed to take out ads while still president that said, "Stop the steal." He actually did that. Even though like it was proven that he had lost, we knew he lost, and he said he would accept the outcome and stuff. Of course he didn't. Yeah, he took out ads, actually paid for ads to say "Stop the steal" and stuff like that. And like just lied all throughout the ad and stuff. It's terrible. Oh no. Obama was the saving grace. Yes, he was. Like, that's why a lot of times a Democrat has a lot more to stand on when they just can just back up their candidate, because like it's the ethics of the situation. When like flat out for decades and decades I've been seeing the same crap from the Republicans, where it's very obvious that literally that's exactly all that's happening, where the Democrat literally just tries to do something, or you know, like something good, or flat out the Republican tries to do something to steal money from your wallets, to take more money from Americans, and the Democrat tries to point it out, and you're like, no, that's something good, and then when they do it, and it actually does, then they point the finger at the Democrat, and people are actually so stupid they believe it. And this is literally the same thing that they've been doing since forever. They've been doing it for decades. I just can't believe that people would actually continue to not realize and see this pattern. Especially now that they can just look all this stuff up. The fact that you would miss this and not see this pattern is just crazy. This is why a Democrat can sit there and say the ethics of the situation and just kind of knows initially who they're going to vote for, because they can feel the ethics of it versus the Republican voter. This is why I have, you know, like that's why it feels like that sometimes. This is why. It is because flat out, like, it's so obvious to some of us, and then people that say the dumbest, simplest things, almost like an excuse to vote for somebody instead of a reason. This is what we hear from the Republican voters. And so, like, this is the point. Like, you can't even give us a valid reason. Not only that, like when we tell you all these terrible things that Trump has said and done, you literally excuse it and don't give a reason why he did that, and why you would vote for him again, even though he did all these terrible things. You just go, oh, no, that's not. It's literally, yes, it is. You're just fucking full of shit. You have no idea what the hell you're talking about. And yet you continuously vote and destroy the country, and continuously vote for this fucking guy, these Republicans that will destroy the country. You again are actively taking part in destroying the country every single time you vote Republican, and it's just going to continue happening. The Republican Party has destroyed democracy. Yeah, I agree. No, we have real problems here in the U.S., and it's way worse than people think. Like, it's not like we don't have real problems. I mean, like, flat out, like, it's real bad. Elderly people in general, but just scams in general. Billions of dollars a year are scammed out of Americans' pockets, but from scammers in like other countries and stuff. Billions a year. That's a problem. The United States has a systemic hate problem because of the bullying issue. Because in schools, we cannot rely on the states to be responsible with what they consider to be appropriate education and appropriate ways of handling disciplinary matters. So essentially, kids grow up in different states, in different ways, and learn differently. And it absolutely affects the way they grow up and who they become. I mean, I mention all the time that this guy confirmed this guy that shot at Trump. I mention this all the time. This kid that shot at Trump. He somebody that knew him at the school was interviewed after that. And I thought it was interesting that the reporter did this. I thought it was really good journalism. They asked this kid that knew him, essentially, was he bullied? And yeah, he was bullied hardcore. Essentially, the kids that bullied him, they bullied him because he wore camo and a mask. And apparently they used to call him like a libtard and stuff like that. So like these are probably Trump voters saying shit like this, bullying this kid because he's wearing camo and a mask. Who the fuck cares? And they would actually bully this kid. I got news for you. You bullied this libtard. Meanwhile, he almost killed the president just because you bullied him. And so like will they take it seriously if he had? You know, it's like, so this is the point. Like, would they have actually taken it seriously if he had succeeded? Maybe only then. Maybe only then would it have actually affected them. And this is the systemic problem in our education system. You hear about all these school shootings and shit like that. Meanwhile, the police show up and then take fucking 45 minutes to breach the goddamn building. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, like, so this is ridiculous. It's simpler than we're making it. This is all a stupidity problem. This is all, Americans are dumb. That can be handled with a smart decision. Like that situation where it takes 45 minutes to breach after they show up, and then at the same time there is an active shooter inside. That's a stupid fucking situation that happens literally all the time, and it can be fixed by one correct, smart decision. That is so easy to fix, and nobody fucking does it. Nobody. Disgusting. Bullying is a real issue. The government needs to do something about it. Yeah. It's systemic. So what it means when I say something is systemic is I mean it comes from past times and has now, because it has happened through generations, become a problem that will never go away until everything is turned off, or everything is shut off, or everything is wiped, and we start from square one with this thing. That's a systemic problem. You know, like, everything has to stop. You've got to put your body upon the gears, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. Period. And it's true. I think that this is that time when it feels that way. And the problem is these people that storm the Capitol, that feel this passionate about it, they're storming the wrong people. They're literally storming the Democrats and blaming the wrong people. Yes, it is. I gotta be honest, there's times where, like, I can tell somebody felt real anxiety looking at some of those fucking, like, police things that people put on their cars where they obviously bought them, and it says something like, support blue lives, or something like that. Like I'm okay for like donating and supporting them and stuff like that, but why do you have some weird sticker that talks about blue lives, almost like some cult thing? Yet I can pull up a video right now of a female officer in her car being recorded by a streamer and asking her why she's there in front of the business and telling her it's scaring off customers and stuff like that. And then she is getting out of the car, then seen with like 4 other officers around, saying that this guy, that she felt threatened by his behavior. Saying she felt threatened by his behavior for talking to her. Yeah. So this is what we're talking about, guys. Like this, that's a problem for sure. Like I love good police because it's so hard to do. Yeah, that's not an easy job, and it shouldn't be just given to anybody. That's why there isn't that many of them. That's why they're in such great demand and such need, you know. But yeah, you can... There's nothing threatening about that. So I just... And like... I don't know, like, in my opinion, if an officer actually feels threatened, don't they immediately get on their radio and start calling it in? So, like, I feel like the entire behavior, you know, like, I feel like people play the victim too much these days. Like, they essentially look at a situation, like, instead of wanting to be there to try to help, she looked at him like a problem. She immediately thought of how she can play a victim card. She immediately thought, how do I get out of this? Instead of, yeah, you're right, the police probably really shouldn't be sitting here in front of a business, like, just scaring off customers and stuff like that, and it's a regular thing that they're here and customers are asking them about it. And yeah, alright, fine, that makes sense. If he's coming out and saying customers asked him about it and stuff like that, flat out, I would literally, if I was her, I would have literally just asked the guy, I would have simply said to him, well, would you mind not recording, and if you turn the recording device off, I would be happy to talk to you about that. I just would really prefer you not record the conversation, so that way you and I can have a one-on-one conversation actually about it, and we can talk about it, because oftentimes if you can't record an active investigation, and police matters, so essentially a lot of what the officer will try to do is they should try to get you to stop record. Like, essentially that's the point. So, like, she just, I think, needed a little bit of a better training how to handle the situation. But yeah, flat out, I don't think she should have felt threatened. And it's unfortunate that she felt that way, if she felt that way. So, Yeah, for sure. That's weird. But yeah, like I would want to talk to him about that, then get him off, and then like basically just say, look, man, maybe, this is why we're, like essentially just level with him, like, this is a report. This is a report that we got. So we're just keeping an eye on things, and if like I don't know, just level with the guy. I don't know. Maybe they can't. Like it becomes down to her to de-escalate and essentially just try to be humanizing with him. That is her job. Part of the issue is I see too much escalation. So feel entitled. Yeah. I think that's where that'll change your attitude quick, and hopefully it did for the better. But I mean, I also feel bad too, because now, like, you have to realize from her side of things, she made one mistake and now her face is everywhere. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, there's another side to that people won't consider. You have to humanize this. You have to be on her side too. She's a person too. She's allowed to have a side too, and be a human being about this. Like, while you're recognizing that, yeah, all right, maybe she shouldn't have treated that situation like that. Was she there on her own accord? Probably not. She's probably told to go there. She's probably posted there or something. So like you have to realize, like, and then again, now her face is everywhere. So like, is that fair to her? I don't think so. She made one mistake, and maybe it wasn't even her mistake. Maybe, like, for some reason that's how she felt like she was supposed to handle that situation. But now her face is everywhere. And the comment section was not very enlightening, I should say. Yeah, we'll say it like that. Like where people are playing armchair law, just don't know what they're talking about. So stuff like that, like I'm never the person. I understand him wanting to record it because, like, in case an altercation happens and stuff like that. I don't know if he was a person. I don't know if he was of color or anything like that. I know that they typically, that's what it is typically. Since they're racially profiled, they'll usually sort of start the interaction with that, and so that may have been why he sort of started with that. He's just sort of used to doing it that way. So I would just, reasonably rationalize that's probably why he was doing that. But yeah, on her end of things, she could have easily just de-escalated. I honestly, like, why? If she's not doing anything wrong, why should she have to be worried about being recorded? Like, that's all I worry about. Like, with stuff like that, when, like, you do that, I always worry about, like, well, what are you doing that you don't want to be recorded? However, though, what you have to realize is if they're investigating something, you're now investigating police. You're now recording a police investigation, essentially, and that's illegal. So you got to be really careful. Like, essentially, if that was an active investigation and they were looking into something, now while it is an open business, and it was a marked vehicle, that's a little bit different. She's in plain sight. But so yeah, I understand his willingness to approach in that sense, because it should be unmarked if it's like that. But it's the sort of thing where, well, maybe they do have to have it marked if it's broad daylight and they're doing that. Either way, I think both parties should be able to communicate with each other and figure out what's going on there without, it's seeming like something weird's going on. Yeah. That's the sort of thing where we don't know what was. I don't even know what the store was, to be honest with you. I couldn't even tell. He was so far from it. So I gotta be honest. I think just judging by where she was sitting and what she was doing and how far she was from the store, I gotta be honest. Um, it kind of, in my opinion, I would suspect that they're looking for somebody. I don't think that they're, you know what I mean? Like, I know it seems really weird. I just think that they think that for whatever reason, somebody is going to be hitting that store, or coming in and out of that store, or stealing from that store, or whatever it is having to do with that store. They got some piece of information they can't tell you, or whatever, some tip, something or other, that they're sitting there and looking at that store. They can't really tell you that. They can't really tell you where they just do it. If they tell you, then you know. If you know, then you know. So, there's a real good chance they're just looking for somebody. And now you're kind of rolling up on them, like, being a little suspicious, like, who you looking for and stuff like that. It's sort of like, you might not want to do that. Like, it's not really none of your business. But I understand him, like, being an employee and stuff, wanting to see why that was a regular thing. If it was a regular thing, I get it. Yeah, if it was a regular thing, it would weird me out too. Unless they were getting food. You're like it's a restaurant and just getting food. Like, that's a little different. I'm just getting food, you know. Then they sit there, whatever. It's his right. It's his right to what? Are you asking if he has a right to know why they're there? No. Not really. It depends on the situation. It's more like you don't really not have you don't. All right, so you have the right to speak. You have the right to remain silent, as you have the right to speak too. So, like, this is the point. Like, yes, but, like, realize anything you say, you know. So that's usually how it goes, right? You know. So that's the point. Like, they want you to talk. You know, the right to remain silent is sort of like a warning. Like, you better shut up most of the time. So questioning the police, if you do it, know what you're talking about, because you're probably wasting their time, and they don't want you to waste their time. Otherwise, they're gonna think you're up to something. Like, why are you wasting their time? They're gonna think you're trying to do something. So, like there's always something suspicious about that, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. So, you know, like, that's the point. Maybe it's a distractionary method or something like that. So do you have the right to question the police? It depends on what they're doing. Depends on the scenario. If something is happening to you, you have a right to know what's happening to you, yes. If there's immediate danger, no. You don't have that right. In my country, you have a right to ask an officer to identify themselves and describe their activity in an area to be a reasonable extent. So, if you see an officer and you all walk up to them, yeah, so, like, you're asking if you just see an officer just standing there and you'd walk up to them and you said, "Excuse me, would you mind identifying yourself?" I think it would look suspicious, It would be the sort of thing where that follows under the heading of why would you randomly walk up to a police officer and ask him to identify himself? Clearly has police written on the back of his shirt, so why are you asking this? It seems like a sort of common sense thing, so he might answer you, but don't be surprised if you suddenly start having a little bit of an investigation yourself. Yes, you can. I wouldn't recommend it. Why are you wasting his time? Yeah, like, so yes, they have to identify themselves in the sense that they do, if requested. Most places by policy require them to give their badge number, but that's policy per station, and they don't all do it. So I don't think the law says they have to. I knew for a fact they do not have to identify as police officers if conducting an investigation. When pulling you over for a traffic stop, yes, absolutely. If you're pulled over for a traffic stop and an officer comes up to your car and you cannot plainly see that that is a police officer, immediately, I would immediately dial 911 or something to the effect of that, and tell them that somebody pulled you over with plain clothes and they're not identifying themselves or something like that. But when you are pulled over, you should see lights, you should see a badge, it should be very obvious a police officer's pulled you over, because like that's a dangerous situation you could get yourself into if somebody's like fake pulling you over or something. So yes, it depends on the situation, but I mean, you're gonna know. You're gonna know. I mean, he gives you a ticket, he's gonna have his stuff on there anyway, you know. So like most of the time you really don't need to. Most of them drive marked cars. Yeah, it's the sort of thing, yeah, as long as it doesn't impede investigation. Yeah, so like that, it's just different here where like, no, they have no law, like if you, flat out, if you, like if there was something that said that they have to identify themselves in another country, like you can ask that question or something like that. I don't think that that's a thing here, where essentially if you walk up to a police officer, they necessarily have to do anything. As long as you can't reasonably prove, you know, that they aren't, that's it, you know. So that's all there is to it. Yeah, I mean, if they're doing something illegal, that's one thing, for sure. And then still, if they're doing something illegal, they're still doing something illegal. So it's still, regardless, you know. Well, then that's a little different, you know. Then you would still do the right thing. Yeah. I don't know if that answers the question. Yeah, I would not. It's just really, that would be, I think it would be suspicious behavior sort of thing. Like, part of the thing with like the U.S. is that they can cite you for like really little dumb things, and part of the reason why that is because a lot of times it's a way to lead an investigation, it's a way to start one, and it helps a lot of times. It gets you know what they need a lot of times. In public, can you record them in public to defend yourself in court? Man, there's a lot of really interesting questions. There's a lot of really weird, interesting questions all of a sudden. That one's a little different. That one's a little bit different. It depends on... Not really. It really depends on the situation, too. That's really, really dependent upon the scenario, the situation, and everything that's going on. What would be the situation? If you give me a scenario, I'll tell you. I could probably tell you if it's okay or not. I'll tell you if I don't know, though. I'll tell you if I don't know, though. And there's a very good chance I won't know. But record? I mean, just, like, generally speaking, you really... There's a lot of little things about that. During a random stop. Yeah, I'd say that was fine. Yeah. Because, like, so what? Yeah, like, what you're doing is you believe them to be suspicious, so essentially you start recording in good faith that they aren't. Essentially, all they're doing is a traffic stop. You know that, like, there's really no danger or anything like that. So, essentially, it's not like you're recording them, like, conducting any type of other investigation. All they're doing is investigating you. So essentially, since this has to do with you, and only you, yeah, I would say that you have now authorized the right to do so, and, afterwards, essentially, I think that would be a good question about, like, essentially whether you could use it or not. There's literally nothing illegal about you having video of... So the fuck what? Yeah, like, the issue becomes about submissible evidence. So, like, so the fuck what? You recorded somebody... You literally recorded an officer putting something illegal on you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Immediately that would be... Yeah. The problem is, don't tell them you have it. So, yeah, like, for sure. I mean... Here's the problem. You are allowed to do a lot of things, but ultimately, a lot of times they get really defensive and they will make civil commands. And if you don't follow the commands, they can then make a command that you stop recording, because essentially you're more focused on that than them. So essentially, that's what they can do, and they can use this, and they probably use this a lot. But essentially, if you have something where it's, like, sort of stationary, you're not, like, holding it and moving it around and stuff, then there's no worry where essentially they can say, oh, I thought he was reaching for something, or I thought I was making me nervous with his hands, and blah, 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 blah. It's different if it's like a dash cam, where it's like a setup, where it's already there and you're not controlling it. It's totally different if you're holding your phone up, very obviously doing this and moving it around to record their face and what they're doing and stuff. It's antagonizing. It's no different than if you showed up at somebody's job and shoved a camera in their face and started recording them. Flat out, they will do, and respectfully so, anything anybody else would do in that situation, not like it, and try to do things to stop it. And I have to agree with that. I think it's fucked up when people do that. Now, I understand what you're saying, where there's a good amount of people that get tricked and stuff like that. So yeah, like, all I'll say is essentially a lot of police around here, actually, if anything, all of them have body cams now. It's just that a lot of them find reasons to turn them off. So if the body cam was conveniently turned off during the section where they found, like, right before they found the stuff, that put, like, all right, so then that's really fucking convenient, So there's a lot of things behind that. I mean, like, you know, uh, yeah, because it's stationary. What can they do? And not only that, how do they know it's recording? Yeah. Because a lot of times people have dash cams and it's just automatic. Like a job or something. Let's say an officer pulls over DoorDash and a dude's got a dash cam set up. This DoorDash driver isn't Domino's. He doesn't have an advertisement on his car, so the cop didn't know that pulling him over. But now suddenly he pulls him over and the company requires him to have a dash cam. He can't turn it off. That's not on him, that's on the company. That officer is now legally liable to allow the recording. Yeah, he cannot tell him to turn it off, and if he does, that company can sue the department. Because essentially, the employee is now at risk, where he's being stopped on the clock, they're recording what's happening, and he's being told by the officer to turn it off. That's very dangerous. Because essentially the company has no idea what happened during that time while the employee was on the clock dealing with the officer. It's very bad advice, too. If they tell you to do that, don't do it. Tell them that you are legally allowed to have that, and you want the documentation to prove that they can't have it recording. Yeah. Well, that's why. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Exactly. And people do that. They do. It's terrible. I mean, that's an evil person. I mean, like, literally, he's the one that had it on him. You know what I mean? Like, so what was he doing with it on him? And then he plants it on this person? No, it's terrible. Yeah. Probably happens more than you think. So I have a question. Oh my goodness. There we go. I wasn't trying to zoom in, my fault. I was trying to stabilize. It keeps like falling. So what's with all the random, all of a sudden questions about law and stuff like that? It seems like real random. Brian Alexander. Thanks. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'm not saying everything is going to be necessarily fact either. I just that's what I think, obviously, and yeah, for sure. what I would say is just with the U.S., just keep right, pass left. Try to go the speed limit. Try not to stay. Like, there's so many people that sit in that passing lane, and then they like cause all kinds of like issues on the road, and people get really mad. So that's one thing I'd recommend if you're here. Just make sure like go the speed limit. Try to follow. Like let people go. Like wave people on and stuff, and they will let you go. They will be nice. They will be like if you are patient with people, it'll just what I mean, like it'll just go a long way. Every once in a while you're gonna pull out and it's gonna be lots of traffic, and you're gonna have to pull out in front of somebody, and he's probably gonna come up behind you, and he's probably gonna tailgate you and swerve around. It's probably gonna happen. But just don't tap your brakes. Just let him do it. Pull over if you can. It's the sort of thing where it's unfortunate, but it is a problem. It is a worldwide issue for sure. It's just really bad here. Where part of the issue here is that instead of people realizing they're doing it, if people kind of are behind them, showing them they want to pass them, people are so prideful and stubborn about it, they just sit there and continue to be annoying instead of realizing they were in the wrong. This is the issue. The issue isn't the people that are like trying to let them know. Now, obviously, then the people get mad and road rage and stuff more after that. But like oftentimes, people are just trying to make signals with their car to let the people know that they would like to go past them, and you're on a highway. Get over and let people go past. So, yeah, it is for sure a worldwide thing. Just give people space. That's all I can say. That's my biggest recommendation. Don't bump into anybody. Don't Just give people space. People are very there's no that's actually a huge issue here. There's no like skinship and stuff. This country is real divided on that. And that's actually the big issue. So, yeah, like straight men and stuff like that. They don't act like this in our country. Like in all other countries, pretty much everywhere around the world, like straight men will kiss each other in the cheek, hug each other, and like treat each other a little different. In this country, that's generally weird. You don't do that. There really is no skinship, and thus we have men in this country just they literally just don't know how to control their emotions. Yeah, I've actually, yeah. So it's funny that you guys, yeah, we don't have emergency lanes unless there's like a big ultra city or something. Yeah, there ain't no emergency lanes. We got a shoulder. Is that what you mean by an emergency lane? They try to pass on the emergency lane. That's probably what you meant. We call that a shoulder, the side of the road. It's not really a lane here because there's not enough room. I have a tail. She's playing with my hand. She's playing with my hand now. I was trying to like hold her tail up and wave her tail. But she started batting at my hand. It was funny. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Most of us are, there's a lot of us, we're all European. British, French, Scottish, Irish. That's a lot of it. Like the white people, that's a lot of it. And then like black folks, it's like mainly like Central America, I think, like a lot of Central America stuff. And then you also have the Spanish, like a lot of the Spanish influence. So like that's a lot of what we get here is just the you know, with white people, it's literally just it's pretty much just European, yeah, like British, like I said, and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, like obviously people have come here like later afterwards, but like our ancestry and stuff, a lot of us are, yeah, British, French, German, Scottish, Irish. No, northwestern Europe, basically. Oh, that's cool. Didn't know that. How many? That's interesting. I didn't know that. Why did the stream cut out? And then why did? Who's messing around with the stream to kick people out? Yeah, we're nothing but a nation of immigrants. See, this is what people don't understand is like the natives that were here weren't white. Like this is the point. Like this is why it's annoying how racist people are. It's like the natives that were here literally weren't even white. So like people are just so freaking racist, it's not even funny. I mean, it's not like they were black either, but you know, I mean, like they weren't white, you know. I mean, we obviously know that you know, Native American Indians were definitely dark-skinned. And oh, I don't get it either. I really don't understand it, but I know why. I guess I do understand it, but that doesn't mean that I condone it. I don't condone it at all. Yes. Yeah. I know why, though. It's just bullying. It's that thing we talked about earlier. People just find a reason. Except with racism, they're taught it by their parents in their DNA. So essentially, if somebody's racist, their parents are racist. That's all it is. It's literally all it is. Racism is taught. Yeah, racism is taught. That's all it is. It's just bullying. They're just finding a reason. And it's like when I went to school, and they're just like, just be this one kid, and you just sit there and just be like, you know, you're really white. It said just like that, and I'm just like, wow. And I'm just like, so are you? And he'd be like, no, but you're really, really white. And it was just so racist. And he was not what, like, he wasn't like black, but he wasn't Caucasian either. I mean, he was fair skinned. You'd call him white. So like, yeah, like it was just really messed up. Like the point is, this kid was like some mix or something too, and he was like, you know, like just finding a reason to pick on me. You know, like the point is, it's just a reason. You know, like so people feel insecure about themselves, so they just look at you and go, oh well, his problem is this, so I don't feel so bad about mine now. That's what people do. That's what everybody does. People flat out even admit to it, but this is the issue. Why does it matter? As Martin Luther King said, we should all judge people by the character and not by the skin. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the systemic issue though is that people do act different, and to say that they don't is wrong and actually almost insulting. No, it's not almost. It is insulting. Both cultures have now recognized and acknowledged that there is a difference. There is a black and a white culture. They are separate. They want to be separate. This actually is the issue. So for sure, I agree. And so since they want that, what you have to do then is you have to make fun of it. You have to do what we did in the 80s, and nobody wants to do that. Do you guys remember when Chevy Chase and Richard Pryor got together on SNL and called each other racial slurs back and forth? This is how we get over this shit. We literally stop being so angry over a word, over one word that we don't let other people use, which, by the way, is also racist. If you have a word that you tell other people to use that you use, that's racist. But then at the same time, you know, you want to act different and tell everybody that, you know, you're not different and that they shouldn't treat you any differently than the white people and stuff like that. Come on, man. Who are you trying to fool? You're not fooling anybody. You are different. So it's not in a bad way. It doesn't mean we should be racist, but accept that you are different, and then we all move forward in a way that we can literally just take the out of it. You know, like essence of tolerance. Yes. Being human together. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Being human together. Exactly. I like that. I like the way you said that. For sure. Yes, absolutely. Part of the problem is that people make humor too much out of the expense at somebody else. That's the systemic issue with our racism issue here. People want to make humor at the expense of, like, somebody being lesser of a person because of this or that, and that's the issue. This is why I call everyone stupid. Everyone gets mad and stuff that I call everybody stupid. This is actually why. If everybody realized this and called themselves dumb, everybody would get a whole lot smarter overnight. Yeah, this is what would happen. Just like if everybody that was racist acknowledged it, they would no longer be that way. So, this is the point. Like, everybody's stupid. We should all be smarter by basically an entire century. We all know Nikola Tesla was basically successfully removed from American history. His technology was a century ahead of its time. We buried it, unfortunately. We're behind. And so, and people are just getting dumber. Like, oh my God, let's cancel this next thing because, somebody's feelings. Let's move the bit rate around in somebody's stream because, man, he said the F word and I'm super offended. So, we have to realize that people play the victim card too much these days. And this is like everything. He should be. He should be. The guy created technology that was 100 years ahead of its time, and the FBI hid it, buried it, and nobody ever saw it. And some people just recreated that tech, essentially proving that he used Tesla coils to power something wirelessly. Somebody on YouTube just recreated his tech, essentially. All they did was recreate the science experiment. They used a little remote-controlled boat. They didn't put anything in it. They just literally powered it from Tesla coils they put them in the ground, and they used these 2 Tesla coils to power this boat, this remote-controlled boat, and they proved that the technology works to wireless communication, to transmission. Literally, no wires, anything in the boat at all, just wirelessly. And he was able to move the boat easily. And he just proved it. And we're 100 years. They found this when he died and made it top secret, buried it. We're 100 years behind. He invented free energy, and Edison, together with the FBI, blocked him. Yes, Thomas Edison. And don't forget J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan is actually his, because that was going to be his saving grace, but then J.P. Morgan didn't like the fact that he was doing this and that and the other thing, I guess, and then he tried to block him too. And so that was when he went off on his own. He ended up being really, progressive and getting a lot done. But he was also really later in his life at that point. And so they were just basically waiting around for him to die. And then when he did, they stole all his stuff and called it top secret. And I know it was so that people didn't weaponize it, but I just... Now it's come. Now, wouldn't you have rather it come out before the frickin' internet? I would have. Oh my goodness. I agree. And I don't know if you know this. A lot of our power grids and stuff are just running on generators from his technology. It's still his tech. It's the same tech. It's just different. It's just like a giant turbine that uses the same type of tech. It's the same. It works the same way. No problem. Yeah, there are a lot of people that don't realize. He's not even really in the history books. He's barely talked about. It's kind of annoying. I'll be right back. Explosion. Explosion. It's like all over my hand now. No. A few hours away though. My cat's licking my hand. You went to Old York and it's awesome. Is it awesome? I bet the food was good. You can come up here too. Yeah. You want to come in? You want to come in? Come in. You want to come in? He's like, no, she's like, no, I'm jumping down off the bed. Oh, more upbeat. Cause that's, Sifu's a title. It's a Kung Fu title. I was given that title, many years ago when I used to teach Kung Fu, and then I owned a Kung Fu studio, so that's just my title in martial arts. pink belt? Please tell me there wasn't actually a pink belt. Used to do judo in middle school, and you got to pink belt. Is there really a pink belt? Oh my. I suppose that's different in this country too. There's such a disconnect with colors. Essentially, when I was growing up, well, yeah, but I mean, like that's pretty alpha male, archaic, caveman like too, though. Like, think about like growing up, you're taught that like if you like pink, you're freaking gay, and if you like purple, you're freaking gay, or something like that. And it's like, dude, it's just a color. Who cares? I mean, but yeah, like I mean, this is the disconnect that most people can't get over. The rank before red. So red really was separate. That's funny that they actually went with like pink. Well, I've been doing martial arts for almost 30 years. This wavelength of light is homo. Ah! What's up, Liam? Yeah, for sure, Liam. This wavelength of light is homo. Ah! I love it, dude. I love it. Yeah, like people really can't momentarily remember that color is literally just the way light reflects, and they would actually, that's gay. Like the Roman purple. I mean, we had a purple sash in my system, for sure. Nothing wrong with that. It's literally just a color. This is the issue. People that act like that, they're actually the ones with their emotions not in check. And then they would have everybody else believe it's the other way around. When literally they're the ones going around calling people gay for liking a color. It's literally them. It's literally the bullies that don't have their emotions in check. Yes, exactly. No, yeah, exactly. Purple is associated with royalty because it was so expensive to produce a dye. Yes, exactly. Yes. It used to be the other way around. Yeah, like the more rare the color, the more associated it was with like expensive royalty. Yes, exactly, Liam. Thank you. It was about rarity and the vibrance of color. Thinking color is gay. Thinking a color is gay is caveman brain for real. Yes, it is, Brian. Yes, it is. I tried to pet my cat and she started licking my hand again. Pink clothes one's actually really color for boys. Yeah, I could believe that. Half the buildings in your town are pink and it's cool. That is really cool. That's awesome. You're enjoying this. Come enjoying this. She's like, I'm gonna attack you instead. She's mad that I disturbed her slumber. Thinking yellow, wearing yellow is crazy? Why? Do you know that certain colors, seeing certain colors have a psychological impact on the brain? So it's interesting that yellow would do that. Jaundice, the yellow disease, French for yellow June. John. Oh, Jeanne. Is that okay? Yeah. Jeanne. Is that how you say that? Yeah, I mean jaundice is that one where like your skin's all yellow and stuff like that, and then like the pigment of your eyes too. It's that thing that babies usually get. Well, I shouldn't say usually, but like it usually occurs in babies, I should say, like newborns. And if somebody's jaundice, they got some serious wrong with like their liver, so right. I don't know about liver specifically, but if they're jaundice, there's something. They got something bad going on. Sorry, I was petting my cat. I feel bad because like she was all like laying all comfortably, and like I moved her up here to pet her. And now she's sort of laying up here, but like kind of like over here. I'll pet her a little bit since she moved for me. Yeah, I mean not necessarily. I mean just. I mean, could be, yeah, but I mean, it could be other things too, you know, that cause other types of infections and stuff, too. But yeah, I think that one specifically. They're all crazy. You have 5 and they're all crazy. She wants to play right now. And I'm busy talking to you guys. Eat all the cheese. Oh, you want to attack my hand? Okay. That's okay, you can attack me. Go ahead. She's tearing up my hand right now. Why? Because they keep eating all that cheese? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, for sure, you gotta try to do what you can to stop them. It's definitely always tricky trying to you know, find clever ways of doing something like that. And I guess you just gotta keep them out of it somehow. Attacking my hand. He's clawing me up. Yeah, hopefully not. Obviously, you're doing the right thing to try to stop it. The one random guy. Oh, latched onto the arm. Latched on. Latched onto my arm. What the hell, kitty paws? Yes, you're a kitty paw. No. No. Ah, she's playing with my hoodie. Ah! 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 She has hold of my hoodie string. Oh, that's cool. Thousands, huh? Yeah, it's definitely always awesome being able to have animals. She jumped down. I was like, no. Now who am I gonna pet? Your cats are Eminem and JFK. What the fuck? Who names their cats those things? Eminem and JFK. Apparently. That's okay. I named my cats after princesses. Well, if you want to call Eris a princess, I should say. One of them is Princess Leia, and the other one's Eris. Like Eris from like Final Fantasy VII. JFK. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, oftentimes they definitely have more compassion than people. Well, yeah, I mean, to a point, for sure. I live in the mountains. I live in the mountains. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's cool. Your mother is Greek and your father is Austrian. It's actually really interesting. You know who my favorite Austrian is? I'm sure you can guess. It's probably the only Austrian I can think of off the top of my head. Well, he's Austrian American, obviously now, but he's from Austria. Yeah, definitely a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. Yep, there you go. I mean, that's the only one I can think of. So, like, I can think of a whole bunch of them off the top of my head or anything. Probably the most notable in the U.S. anyway, at least that I can think of. Yeah, for sure. He was the governor of California for a while too. He's a lot smarter than I thought he was. I'll just say that. I didn't realize he was as smart as he is. When he became governor, it was like, oh wow, basically pretty smart.
Or a pleasant surprise.
Opinion on the UK. My opinion? I like the UK. A village close by. That's really the name of the village? That's funny. I mean, I believe you. What's your opinion of psychedelics? I don't really have much of an opinion. I've never done them, never will. So I really can't speak. I know a lot of people that I've talked to have really argued their benefits and stuff, but I can't speak for them. I've never used them. They're never, nor never will I. So. Oh, just right. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, you can go. That's fine. You can. You wanted to see what I was doing. Oh, you're just adorable. Trying to see what I was doing, huh? Am I paying too much attention to this instead of you? What you doing? What are you trying to do to my... What are you doing? Ah! She's like attacking it. Oh my goodness. She's sleeping on my pillow now. She's fine now. She's like up here now. One has a large mustache, and the other one hordes of food. Hordes of tude. Oh, like attitude. You would spell that Tude. It would be like half the actual word attitude. Oh, hordes tude. Oh, I'm sorry. You spelled it right then. Yeah, so you're talking about food. Her tail's like freaking out. She's like, I am happy. Google that. I feel like I've already seen that guy before. I feel like I know who that is. And I feel like I can even see his mustache in my brain. I feel like I know exactly what you're talking about. Does he have a blonde mustache? Is it a blonde one? Blue. I don't know, you tell me. You're the one coming in here asking random questions. It's 4 a.m. there? Alright, sounds good, mate. Good night, Brian. Thanks for the convo. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it.